Hi everyone, this is Ali Hussein Kasim from Ali Talks Tech. In this week's roundup, we are looking at a couple of stories. First, Equity Bank's global money transfer success in the region. We'll look at how they got here. Then I will try and break down the Visa and Mastercard battle for supremacy in Africa, which I covered a couple of days ago with an infographic that was done by my creative lead. Shout out to you, Hani Zuhudi. Thank you so much for some great work there. Then we'll look at Amazon's robotic revolution, balancing resilience, profitability, and human impact. We shall then revisit Airtel Africa's plans for an IPO end of this last quarter of 2025. That was announced sometime last year. Just to reflect, where are they? Is that plan still on? And looking at the whole Pan-African mobile money market, where they stand and all that. Lastly, we shall look at Africa's buy now, pay later, or BNPL as it's known, and its explosive growth in the region. So let's go back to my first story, Equity Bank Limited's interesting growth. Equity's growth in money transfer is solidly embedded in its deep investment in technology and people over the last couple of years. And this story got I decided to cover this story because couple of days ago, I was walking around my local mini mall and I saw this Equity Bank branch that had this small billboard about the money transfer services that they had. And they had all of them that you can think about in this region. MoneyGram, Western Union, Hello Pesa, which is actually a Pakistani mobile money platform, Zoom, which is a company that does global money transfer, which was acquired by PayPal a couple of years ago, and a couple of others. And it really got me thinking how this bank got to that point. Tech investment, savvy partnership engagements, leadership bench, at least until very recently, of tech leaders who actually drove this expansion. And I'd like to really give a shout out to Dr. James Wangi for getting this bank to where it is. My last observation around the market share of money transfer in this country, at least from a banking perspective, tells me that Equity Bank has a market share of more than 50% of money coming into Kenya from the diaspora using the Equity Bank platform. This is an amazing achievement. Let's look at how they got here. Again, deep investment in technology and people. They have had some hiccups from my point of view. And I know maybe some people may not agree with me, but looking at where they have been and looking at how they have grown their business, their digital business, 97% of all transactions at Equity Bank are now digital. What does this bank need to do to go to the next level? My sense is they need to double down on some of the projects that seem to have sort of fallen off the track. Projects like Jenga, for example, Jenga has become moribund. No fintech player, most fintech players are actually complaining about the platform. So this is something that they probably need to look at. What happened to FinServ? FinServ used to be something they report in their quarterly financial, their investor reporting. FinServ has disappeared. So these are the things that have brought Equity Bank to where it is now. And my hope and prayer is that they will continue driving that conversation. I want to now look at the Visa, Mastercard, what I call face-off, Africa face-off. These two global giants are becoming very serious players in the fintech and mobile money play in Africa. And there is a very clear differential between how Visa is executing its strategy, my observations, and how Mastercard is executing its strategy. Now, first, let me be clear. Each one of these players is engaging in both these two key areas. Mobile money, what myself and my creative lead, Hani Zudi, has talked about, we call it the FinTelcos, the mobile money players that are driving fintech adoption across Africa. And then you have the fintech players. So these are two distinct engagements. Fintech on one side and mobile money or FinTelcos on the other side. So let's look at the Visa strategy. Some quick numbers. Visa has committed to invest more than $1 billion in the fintech ecosystem across Africa. They also have actually invested in some of the big fintechs in Africa. InterSwitch, they put in $200 million some time back. That sort of moved InterSwitch to becoming a unicorn. They have also invested in Paystack. Recently, they have invested in OKI, which is a smart addressing system, and WorkPay, which is a mostly HR empowerment and HR automation platform, which also does lots of payroll disbursements in the region. So this is Visa's key investment strategy and engagement in the fintech ecosystem in Africa. However, they also have a number of mobile money partnerships with Vodafone, with Safaricom's M-Pesa. They launched the global payment credit card with M-Pesa a couple of years ago. Now let's look at Mastercard's distinct strategy of engaging FinTelcos or telco fintechs. MTN invested $200 million. Airtel invested $200 million. MTN has spun off its fintech arm or its mobile money arm to MTech Fintech. Airtel is in the process of spinning off its mobile money play in Africa. In 2024, they also announced a partnership with Safaricom. They have a collaboration with Orange Money and Scale for mobile money integration. They've also invested $600 million across the FinTelco ecosystem since 2021. So you can see these distinct plays between Visa and Mastercard. For more information, you can go into my LinkedIn post on this particular story, and you can interrogate the fantastic infographic that was done by my team. So now we cover Amazon's robotic revolution, a story of balancing efficiency, profitability, and human impact. So in the last couple of years, from 2021 to date, Amazon has deployed 750,000 robots across its fulfillment centers. This is an amazing feat, but it comes with some human side issues, or should I say, loss of human jobs in Amazon. Amazon is talking about a 25% increase in efficiency. What's the human cost? And what is Amazon doing to ensure that it minimizes the loss of human jobs? Since that time, although Amazon claims that they have, well, let me rephrase that. Not claim. They have actually increased some job bans people to do with data science, people to do with all this newfangled technology and artificial intelligence, robotics, and all that. But it doesn't stop the fact that 100,000 people have lost their jobs through this. What is Amazon doing to look at how to support these displaced workers? So, a couple of initiatives which are important for me to mention. They have a project called Upskilling 2025. They have invested and continue to invest $700 million to retrain about 100,000 employees in areas such as robotics maintenance, machine learning, and cloud computing. They have the Amazon Technical Academy that's training non-technical employees for software engineering roles. Returnship programs. This is an interesting one. They're helping these professionals re-enter the workforce with coaching and mentorship. This is an interesting conversation. And as the whole world is abuzz with this whole new artificial intelligence conversation, the loss of jobs will continue. But I read somewhere, I think it was Reid Hoffman who said, let's not talk about how many people are going to lose their jobs. Let's talk about how many people with AI skills or tech skills are going to replace those who don't have. In today's world, we are facing a complete revolution of how we do things, from schools to work. You have grade 7 kids today in some schools in Nairobi learning how to code in Python. So that's, and by the way, when I talk about Python, for those non-technical guys, it's got nothing to do with the snake. This is a programming language. So the world is changing. How ready are we? How ready are we for this brave new world? So now let's revisit Airtel Africa's plans for the mobile money unit IPO in 2025, end of 2025, quarter four. Last year, sometime, the former CEO of Airtel announced that they will be looking to spin off the mobile money platform to a standalone company. Something to note is that Mastercard has already invested $200 million in the mobile money play of Airtel. Airtel Africa has promised to grow the mobile money presence into 14 African countries. They're projecting to value this mobile money unit, Airtel Money, at $5 billion. These plans are supposed to happen by 2024. So I'm really curious where we are at as far as these plans are concerned. I would love, I hope they're hearing me, I would love to have a senior Airtel executive talk to me about their plans. There's an open invitation to them. Let's hear more about what your plans are. The mobile money ecosystem in Africa is one of the most vibrant in the world. I was looking at the report from GSMA on mobile money remittances in the world today. 1.2 trillion odd in mobile money transactions, remittances in the world. Out of that, wait for it, $900 billion is from Africa. Let me repeat that. 1.2, I think, trillion dollars in mobile money remittances worldwide. Africa has the lion's share at $900 billion. So obviously, this space is growing. And some statistics are very important here. Despite the proliferation of mobile money in Africa, we still have less than 50% of Africans using mobile money. We are talking about 1.4 billion Africans. So guys, the open field is on with dominant players like M-Pesa Africa, MTN, Momo, um, Orange Money to some extent in their Francophone countries, and Airtel, and of course, there are the smaller players like Tigo and EcoCash. The game is on, guys. My last story today is Africa's buy now, pay later market set for explosive growth. So, bit of history here. This buy now, pay later is nothing new, guys. When I was growing up, we had ART, Africa Retail Traders, hire purchase. This is just another way of saying hire purchase. It's hire purchase on steroids, enabled by technology. So as opposed to you walking into Africa Retail Traders shop and filling in forms, you're doing everything digitally. So this BNPL market is predicted to reach 190, I beg your pardon, $1.9 billion by 2030, a compounded annual growth rate of 30% from 2024 to 2030. The interesting players in this space, a number of them have actually gone off. We have players like M-Kopa in the mobile phone play. We have young startups like Wabi, which are starting to create waves in the ecosystem. How is this going to play out? This is an interesting space to look out. They starting with mobile phones and moving into solar platforms and solar systems. This market is just waiting to explode in Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, and that's it for our weekly roundup episode of this week. And looking forward to speaking with you again next week. Asanteni sana.